After the meltdown of the last few episodes, I think we're finally ready to approach this in a calm and collected manner. Do you?
You know, guys, last time, I went berserk. I just couldn't handle it anymore. It is, one could say, I couldn't even. Faced with a lying, slimy, smarmy sack of garbage that is Paul Atishon, all I could do was rage and moan. But now I've finally gotten it out of my system. I think I can approach this in a calmer fashion now. Billy?
Yeah?
I'm not gonna lie, my urge to kill is rising again.
We haven't even started the episode.
I can't even see him, but... We're the Bittersweet Gamers.
I'm We Square.
I'm the Opinionator. And like Apollo says, what did I ever do to deserve this?
We're in the process of nailing Paul Atishon. Let's see how he tries to weasel out of it this time.
There are many sides to any issue. My two frickin' horns! In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Atishon-Wimperson, did you really see Mr. A Rebel?
Yes, and I will attest to that no matter how many holes you punch in my testimony.
Yes, what?
Nope, that's all you're getting.
Ah!
I'm out!
No, hey! Where do you think you're going?
Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat, seeing as I had already answered the question.
That isn't how this works! This isn't some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're through!
I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before
Your campaign manager has nothing to do with this court!
Mr. Atishon-Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean. What?
Get it, Phoenix! Get your own client! So then, does this mean he didn't see Mr. A Rebel?
As your lawyer, Mr. Atishon-Wimperson, I advise you divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry. You won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal. Blowback? I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright.
Why can't anybody ever be more open with, well, who wants to wreck their own career? Nah.
Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this, I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death?
Come to think of it. Well, yeah, I mean, we knew it was Atishon. Emma, who was the first one to discover the body? About that, whoever it was, it seems they wanted to remain anonymous. It happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police. Wait, you're not saying that...
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Doesn't that actually just make you look much more suspicious?
Oh, anyone has the right to anonymity, right?
Well...
I mean, it does, as you say, but...
Well, I guess he's just trying to avoid his involvement, which is where he's going with this line of argument.
The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Paul Atishon-Wimperson.
What? You don't say! So you were right there watching this happen, and then you reported it to the police.
So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen. Quite admirably, if I may say so.
How convenient for you.
Isn't that right?
How convenient.
Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen.
No, stop! Don't let him keep talking!
One might call me the model citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest as king.
Good Lord! What a real standard bearer he is. Reporting it anonymously. Oh, yeah.
Oh, and by
Bear
the...
that standard. Use more tape on your placard. Have another nervous smile, your lordship.
Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice,
Sorry, Mr. Wright, I'm busy insulting your client.
wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body?
Well, you mean Mr. Rebel? He would have been leaving the doctor's house right about then. Wait. Hey, I see where this is going. That means...
Yes, it does. In short, what my client witnessed was Mr. Rebel fleeing the scene of a heinous murder.
Ah!
And that's not all! Based on what we've heard so far...
I don't know what I was thinking, though, being surprised by this. Where did I think it was going?
Mr. Rebel looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly.
Mr. Wright, you know Mr. Rebel always looks suspicious.
That is irrelevant.
No, a rebel.
We already know the Defiant Dragons threatened the Doctor with bodily harm.
No, we don't know that.
And now that they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void, which if you look at that statement too much, you'll see why that doesn't make sense.
Everything Billy said is totally true, though. Why would anybody do that? That does not make sense. You don't accidentally murder someone under these circumstances. Like, it just doesn't...
Well, Dr. Buff, it seems you filled out this agreement. Oops, I accidentally stabbed you.
I mean, when the thing that they really wanted was right there, and the only thing they had to do was not inflict bodily harm in order to achieve their long sought after objective, how do you accidentally inflict bodily harm?
Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument...
And what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Rebel who killed the Doctor?
That move had desperate written all over it.
But I know, but it's still true. It's all I've got, so I'm going with it.
Evidence?
It's all I've got, so...
I suppose it's true that I don't have any.
I knew it.
But I do have another witness.
You do?
Yeah, I've seen it all. You should know that I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. And my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Rebel's guilt. A new witness? I wonder who it could be. Very well. Bailiff, please summon our new witness and add them to the roster.
Mr. Wright, Your Honor, I just want to take a moment to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, from a deep, deep place. A tremendous sense of gratitude is welling up from within me. Because you know who is no longer on the stand? Wherever else the trial goes, a weight has been removed from my shoulders. Bless you both. I shall never forget this.
In the meantime, the court will take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly. Understood?
Wow. I knew Mr. Wright would put up a tough fight, but...
But playing dirty like that, I mean, yeah, just when I thought we had him, he turned the tables on us.
It's like he's got a lot of experience at this.
He really is the turnabout terror. A name he has never been called by anyone ever.
I don't know. He should have this type of reputation.
That's true.
We can't let him blindside us again. Looks like they got me again. I'll never get out of any of these things I've been constantly accused of. 3 times in 1 year. That's a new record. I learned how to pun because I'm Chinese.
He learned it from me.
Dots, please. No more new records or bad puns while you're at it. You too, Billy.
Oh.
It's hard enough trying to help you as it is. Roger that! I'll be more careful next time.
With the record or the puns?
Well, I can't make any promises.
Dots, is what Mr. Wright said true? did you really pay a visit to Dr. Buff that night?
Sure did. Can't remember the exact time, though. All I know is that he wouldn't hand over the orb. Someone put it in his head that we rebels were dangerous. There's no way I'd reinforce something like that. Why would anybody think I'm suspicious or dangerous at all?
You peeled an apple at him, didn't you?
Several. That's why he threw me out. So the doctor was still alive when Dots last saw him. I have to ask though, Dots, when you left, why did you run away at top speed trying to hide at the same time? Because that looks really suspicious.
We'll still have to prove it, though. Better brace yourself, son. The next witness's testimony could make or break this case.
Yeah, I know. Hey, where's Trucy?
She went to go see her dad.
Well, she needs
Poor
to talk.
kid.
She needs to talk to him.
Yeah.
Maybe she's still mad. She'll get over it. She'll understand.
More like worried. Worried that this trial will create a rift between you two. And that you might then leave the agency.
Athena, not you too! She has an active imagination.
Well, Athena, I don't think Athena believes that. I think she's just sort of like analyzing Trucy a little bit. I mean,
Maybe.
she's a psychiatrist or something. I don't know.
Psychologist.
Psychologist.
Excuse me. The trial will be resuming shortly. Well, let's go see what new testimony awaits us.
You know, son, I get the feeling I should wait out here. Just in case Mr. Wright calls on me.
Sounds good, Pops.
All right, court is back in session. Let the hijinks ensue.
Your Honor, you didn't really say that, did you?
I don't have a choice. We squared is the one voicing me. Mr. Wright, you said you had a witness? Your Honor, I would like to call the lone survivor of the doctor's murder to the stand.
I see. Wait, he can't mean that Sarge is here.
Are we going to interrogate the drone?
You mean Dr. Buff's reclusive son? How'd you get him to cooperate? It's not gonna be like Billy said, right, Mr. Wright?
Nothing a little persuasion couldn't handle. The poor child only agreed to help if it meant catching the killer.
Getting a kid like that to overcome his fear, now that's impressive.
Well, I don't have any fancy minigame I can play to analyze them, but... Cyclops. This must be really important testimony for the kid to come out in public like this.
Well, that only happens if you're hiding something big.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please call your witness to the stand.
And I mean, the kid talked to Apollo about everything. And especially in this situation... Yeah, of course.
Oh, yes.
Especially in this situation, it's a miracle that he's talking to anybody.
Oh my! Dr. Buff's son is a toy helicopter? Sergeant Buff at your service, sir!
Your Honor, Dr. Buff's son is not a toy helicopter. Can we just establish that? He really is here as the drone. And you're letting this happen? Really?
I let a lot of things happen. Mr. Wright, what exactly is the meaning of this?
Your Honor, you can't say, I let a lot of things like that happen. You can't say that! What are you admitting to? You're saying it's your fault that... Ah! We need more orcas.
Past trauma has rendered it impossible for the witness to venture into public. Leaving home was hard enough, and it seems leaving the witness lobby was just too much. But I would still like to continue with testimony delivered via this drone. I understand it must be terrible to lose one's father like that.
Keep in mind that was yesterday? Or maybe the day before?
Yeah! But testimony via a remote-controlled toy? Well, let's take things for a spin and see how it goes.
We've had radios, we've had parrots, we've had orcas, we've had robots. Does it even matter anymore? A drone? At least there's an honest human being on the other end of it. That's already better than several of the things we've dealt with. Just who's piloting this trial anyway? Why is it that whenever Mr. Wright is on the defense, he doesn't get to do this, but now that he's sort of on the offense, he runs the whole show? Bah! It's not fair!
The gesture warmed up to the idea fast.
I think the phrase you're looking for is gave up.
Potato, potato.
You disappoint me, Corporal Justice. To think I once called you comrade.
Hey, wait! No! You cannot hear! Oh my god! How many people did you just gun down?
Defending the man who killed Papa? That's full-on treason, soldier.
I'm not defending the guy who killed your dad!
I hereby demote you back to private.
At least he only demoted me to private for killing his dad.
Corporal, private? What's he talking about, Apollo?
It's a long story. Don't worry about this.
Now then, are you done shooting the defense? Are you ready to testify, youngster?
Why is it that nobody has a problem with him unloading a Gatling gun?
For the same reason no one has a problem with, like, swords, whips, throwing coffee, and all the other crap that's happened.
Locked and loaded, sir. Ready to rain lead down upon the perpetrator.
You may have misinterpreted your role in this case. Trial. All right, Sarge, what do you got?
What happened that evening? Papa met with someone the night he died. I didn't have eyes on the ground as I'd already mounted my siege defense, but I did hear him arguing with someone in his study. From my window, I saw the one designated Dots getting ejected from the premises.
The one designated Dots.
After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time. He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just knew
Aha!
it.
He's just saying that Dots left before his dad was killed, so how could Dots have killed him?
Yeah, you're right.
Dots was there was an argument, and he did leave and sidle about all
Suspicious like,
suspicious
as
like.
he does.
It was right there in his testimony. Dots couldn't have killed him.
Yeah.
So he was thrown out, but later returned and committed the murder, did he?
Yes, Your Honor. So the man my client saw really must have been the fleeing Mr. Rebel.
Well, nobody's arguing that. Objection! 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 Oh, that is pretty fun. Right, you backstabbing no good. I didn't kill no one, and you know it!
It's the enemy! Ready all missiles and fire!
Ah! Ah! That's only a fact.
Capitalist pig! I'll turn you into pork stroganoff!
Pork stroganoff?
And that's just a taste of my ultimate anti-swine weapon!
You call me Pinko? Come on, let's fight fair and square! It fires missiles, too? Why am I surprised, seeing as it had missiles?
Yes, well, the witness is all yours, Mr. Justice. You can have him.
I kind of want some stroganoff now.
That does sound good.
I don't know about pork stroganoff, but, whatever.
Papa met with someone the night he died.
Your father met with someone? Could you be more specific?
It's later in my testimony. No, I was in the midst of a crucial defensive siege operation.
You were playing Fortnite, weren't you? Right. You're referring to how you don't leave your room, correct?
Critical siege operation. You never know where the enemy might be lurking outside the siege perimeter.
That you might be right, but you completely neglected the inside the siege perimeter. I better not push this point because then I'm blaming him for his father's death.
Yeah.
What about, school?
Oh, I don't go to boot camp.
Camp, I'm a soldier. A sergeant doesn't associate with rookies still too green to fight.
With a kid like this, I bet Dr. Buff won't be getting any rest in the afterlife either.
It was very brave of you to come to the courthouse today.
That is true.
But what was that you said about a siege defense?
Well, we better deal with this.
Oh, that? Well,
I didn't have my eyes on the ground, as I'd already mounted my siege defense. But
Sarge, I've always wondered who or what Are you actually battling?
That's classified.
Even so, it may be relevant to this case.
I don't know if you're the right person to be asking about things like that.
What does that mean?
That's right! Such matters need to be handled with a certain delicacy.
Just because I'm the legal team representing a bunch of insurrectionist military-style rebels in another country doesn't mean that I can't question other enemies being I guess curiosity got the better of me.
You're all talking no action, soldier! Out on the battlefield, it ain't the number of pretty words in your repertoire, but the number of bullets in your gun belt that counts.
Well, this is a court, and it is the number of pretty words in my repertoire that count. The number of bullets in your gun belt don't matter in a court of law.
Oh, I suppose you're correct. I mean, if we're talking about Danganronpa, they're kind of both the same, aren't they?
I think this conversation has gotten away from us. Easy for you to say, you're the one with all the bullets.
Would the witness please tell this court what he saw and heard that night?
So every time he's doing this, it makes me do it too. Like, I keep wanting to just point over and over, and I actually am. It's kind of funny.
I did hear him arguing with someone in his study.
I had to throw in that it's kind of funny part, because if I didn't, you wouldn't have known that it was kind of funny.
Context is important.
You might have also thought it was funny in the first place, but once I said it's kind of funny, immediately realized that it in fact was not funny. In fact, that's probably the most important part. It was vital that
Stop while you're ahead, David.
my foot sure tastes good. Let's see here.
Yeah! Oh god, that's disgusting!
I was sucking on my toe. Okay, what was the argument about?
I heard things like, "Where's the orb?" and "Are you Defiant Dragons really criminals?" It sounded real volatile, like a war might break out at any second.
So the two of them had an argument when Dots came to get the orb. Did you see or hear anything else?
Yeah, I heard them arguing, and then silence. From my window, I saw the one designated Dots getting ejected from the premises.
How is Mr. Rebel acting?
What are you talking about? Just look at him.
Yeah, you're right. That does kind of take care of it completely, doesn't it?
Like a conquered trooper, retreating with his tail between his legs.
I don't think that's the truth. A trooper? Well, I guess he does dress like he's in the military.
I bet those two would have really hit it off had they met under different circumstances.
I bet you're right.
And so, the defeated soldier was expelled. But that wasn't the end.
Well, I still think that you may be framing this in some rather inaccurate terms, but that's fine.
After that, the man lingered around the perimeter for some time.
That does seem suspicious, but I believe we've already established that, yes, Mr. Rebel is suspicious.
He kept hiding behind trees and telephone poles and stealing glances at our house.
Look, he does that when he's just going to, like, the convenience store. He couldn't exactly leave without the orb.
I bet he was angry that he'd been kicked
I
out.
bet he was. That doesn't mean that he'd go back in and kill somebody, though.
He must have regrouped and killed my papa in the study later. I just know it.
But don't you keep your front door unlocked? If so, then anyone could have gotten in. This is the worst line of argument that I can take.
That's true.
Papa didn't keep our house locked up. He said there was no need because there were only good people in Crime Village.
Yet he ended up dead anyway.
Only a monster could do what they did to my kind, trusting papa. There will be no mercy. I vow swift and terrible vengeance. I'll carpet bomb the killer with everything in my arsenal.
Well,
Fire!
Hey, wait! I was about to sort of agree with you! Ah!
While I sympathize with you, witness, you will refrain from firing Gatling guns in this court.
Please! There's a gallery! You can seriously kill everyone here!
So Sarge Dots? I'm sorry. So Sarge saw Dots too. Good.
Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse. Why am I saying that? Of course we knew he was there. I wonder why he hung around after being thrown out.
I hate to say this, but if Dots is proven to be the killer, we'll lose the orb to the plaintiff.
It's true.
So our only option is to prove the Defiant Dragons had nothing to do with the murder.
Now I'm just wondering how.
It's got to be one of the last two statements. That is unmistakably true.
Yes, that's also true. We don't
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true. Now, the arguing doesn't mean it was Dots, though. But
True.
it probably was.
But we don't have anything to counter that. That's just...
Right. I agree.
And he saw Dots, because Dots is a very unique appearance.
And that did happen.
Yeah. That's probably true, too.
That's probably true.
Yeah. But if it's true, we can't point it out as a contradiction, is the thing. So if this is the one that's false, we just need to figure out...
Well, the thing is, if we can prove this, then congratulations, we've proven the whole thing, and the Founder's Orb now goes to Dirk. Okay, so it can't be this one. I think it's actually the previous one. That may not be true.
That's true, because we do know that Paul Atishon was hiding behind trees and acting suspicious.
Right.
So okay, how do we prove that then? That the man outside wasn't Dots?
I don't know, it does seem like he's talking about Dots, though. Okay, let's take a look at this. This is a big one. Okay, he did mention this. He did say he died in the study, so that part's consistent.
Right.
I mean, because he did die in the study. I just wanted to see. Well, that's probably irrelevant. I was just thinking about the shelf blocking the window for privacy, but he died on the other side.
Right. I mean, technically, we should be able to use that to be like, what are you talking about? But no.
I know. We just want to constantly use that note to prove every point.
It's the newspaper all over again.
Sarge, you're wrong because of yourself.
Curses!
A camera and a microphone, right?
A camera and a microphone. That's going to be important.
A camera and a microphone? Objection! Ha!
Woo! Good job!
Man, we were really struggling there for a bit. Sarge, are you hiding something from me?
How dare you question your superior officer like that? You want to get in on this Stroganoff action with Pig Boy over there, soldier?
I wouldn't mind some Stroganoff action, I'm true, but I'm afraid lawyers are missile-proof.
You want me to test it?
Yes.
Fires Pomeranians. What?
Would the defense care to explain?
It's simple, Your Honor. Just as he is able to see what's happening in court right now, Sarge was able to see what was happening in the study then. The proof is what's on the witness stand, or rather hovering above it. With his cherished drone, of course.
Oh, now that you mention it, I don't understand. And to think, the answer was right before our eyes this whole time, guys.
Sarge! You were perfectly capable of patrolling the study that night, so you must have seen something!
I'm hit! Well, what is this strange new weaponry you're using against me?
What a strange drone that's leaking oil!
It's crying oil.
Courtroom warriors don't use guns or missiles, because evidence is our weapon of choice!
Oh, well said, Apollo.
And the evidence has exposed your bald-faced lie! My truth bomb, Sarge, has stripped your defenses bare!
Truth bomb? No! Mayday!
I'm going down!
No, don't explode! Then my truth bomb will have gone off. I needed that drone.
Oh my, are you all right? I mean, I guess you're fine, but I'm asking about the drone, I suppose. This is weird.
It is.
Evidence. Never have I seen such fearsome ordnance.
Tell it to us straight, Sarge. After all, you want to help your father, don't you?
Papa.
Yes. You want to find out who killed him, don't you? So please, tell us what you saw that night.
It's not what you think. I didn't see anything, I swear!
You sure? You seem awfully stressed for someone who didn't see anything. Hey, quit with the missiles, although... I guess we'll find out if I'm missile-proof.
Take that to the bank!
Sarge, you need to answer my question. You can't just shoot missiles!
Shut your pie hole, maggot! It'll be a scorching day in Siberia before a lowly private like you orders me around.
We are in a court of law! What's with him in Siberia, of all places?
It was juxtapositioning the scorching part, you dum-dum.
No, it wasn't. It's because you're a commie pinko. But if a scorching day is what it'll take, then maybe it's time to turn up the heat. Hey, Athena, you think a therapy session might help?
Well, it could help alleviate some of his anxiety.
But can you really get anything out of a recorded message? It's not like you can see his body language. That's important for both of us, really.
I don't know. Yeah, I was going to say, why don't you try and use your fancy bracelet? Oh, I'll be damned. Plus, I'm picking up a lot of discord in Sarge's voice.
Good ears, Athena. Good job.
That usually means the patient wants to say something, but can't for some reason.
And in Sarge's case, I imagine whatever's plaguing him is pretty severe. In that case, I leave it to you and your Mood Matrix magic!
Mood Matrix makeup!
Did you just become Sailor Moon?
I became Sailor Mood. You got it! Your Honor, it's time for my BS again. I believe I could be of help here.
Time for a therapy session, is it, Miss Sykes?
Don't even bat an eye anymore, huh?
Yes, it will help the witness with his anxiety, maybe even enough to testify.
Well, I guess even though I find it to be halfway hooey, at this point, it's like the judge has seen enough of the gimmick. It's sort of like her routine as a lawyer. I don't know, I'm starting to find it maybe more effective than I did in the past. Oh, it's been fine in the past. Mind changing, experiences wanting to question them, but now isn't the time. So.
Are you done having an existential crisis?
I'm the one who apparently needs a therapy session.
Then by all means, please bring the poor child out into the light of day. Oh, but I assume this will be all right with you, Mr. Wright.
No! Why not? It's not like we all haven't been through this before.
Yeah, like I was saying, this isn't new for anybody except Sarge.
Well, what are you butting in for, lady? There ain't a place on this battlefield for you.
I beg to differ, Sarge. This G.I. Jane's always ready for a fight in the courtroom.
She tends to not be very prepared, but...
And wait until you see what I've got in my arsenal. Analytical psychology.
Boom!
With it, I'm going to blow a big ol' hole in the armor you've built around your heart.
Aiming for a vital point!
Ah! First evidence. Now analytical psychology? Where are these weapons of mass destruction coming from? Well, if it's a battle you want, bring it on, sister. You may have started this war, but I'm going to end it. Corpse woman psych.
Not corpse woman! Core woman! Core woman is not corpse woman! A corpse is a dead body! A core is like a military body! Why do people keep saying corpse? Goodness! You're trying to shoot her full of holes and missiles!
That's what I do to everyone.
But we've already established that lawyers are missile-proof!
You got it, Sarge.
Objection! Take that! Point of order. I don't like your parliamentary procedure. It's not fair.
Time to seek out the agony buried deep in your heart. Brace yourself! It's been a while since I've said something. Oh,
Mickey Mouse?
oh boy.
Oh God, she's finding out my military secrets. No!
We really are gonna see Sarge floating around like this because as far as we know, the boy is just a phantom or something. I guess Dr. Buff's son really is a toy helicopter.
I stayed in my room with my drone that evening.
Sad because he's always sad, huh?
I heard Dots and Papa arguing with each other.
Okay, we know for sure it was Dots and he's surprised, okay.
Dots got kicked out. I saw him. I didn't see the butt there, sorry. Dots got kicked out. but I saw him still hanging around outside.
It's good that you're not looking at Dots' butt.
I was in my room, so I didn't know Papa was dead until the next day.
Okay, I didn't even really look at the emotions.
It was just sad and surprised the entire time.
So I'm looking for unexpected emotions and unnatural reactions, right?
Or the lack of.
Right.
Right. Emotions and reactions that don't fit the context of his testimony.
Content, actually. Right. Let's
Same
say right
difference.
some more. We've been saying right a lot. Isn't that right, Mr. Right?
Stop it. It's bad enough from Paul.
When you find one, make sure you point it out to me. Also, remember not to view his emotional reactions in isolation. Sometimes it's important to see how they change from one statement to the next.
In other words, we'll be looking at intensity and how it changes, probably to do with finding his father. Okay, I'll give it a try. Both of them are equally intense.
Why is he sadder? Okay.
He's less surprised.
Yeah.
That's it right there. Because he shouldn't be less surprised. That is really strange. You reacted with shock when you discovered your father's body, yet you weren't nearly as shocked then as when you saw Mr. A Rebel. Normally, you'd expect the death of one's father to be much more impactful.
Enemy fire!
Direct hit! Mayday!
So are you equipped with, like, ablative armor that you just set off to explode?
One must always be prepared in the field of battle.
But you do that just for this reaction? That must be expensive. Isn't that the name of that type of armor?
A blade of armor.
The kind that, like, produces an explosion to counteract shocks?
Well, it's like you hit the armor and then it jettisons and explodes.
That is strange. I wonder what it could mean.
Well, we know he wasn't as affected by his father's death as he should have been. And I think I know why. Okay, neither of us could handle it. I was describing reactive armor. Billy was describing ablative armor.
Yeah.
Now that we've got our military science fiction, well, it's not really science fiction, lingo out of the way.
Oh?
Sarge, you weren't as shocked at seeing your father's body as seeing Mr. A Rebel because you must have already seen his body. That's the only way to make it make sense. Sarge, maybe the truth is you left your room that night. And that's when you saw it, your father's body.
I saw no such thing!
Really? You didn't see his body. All right then. What did you see? Why would he hide this? Does he have some interest in going after Dots?
I don't know. Look, Apollo, we've lost some noise.
So, just as I suspected, he really did see something. Sarge, please, tell us what you saw. What reason do you have to hide it?
Oh, but... You see...
I'm listening.
The moment I saw it, I couldn't bear it.
So he passed out?
I couldn't stand to lose yet another loved one.
Again, this is a point that we have consistently undersold. This guy's life is so awful, and this just happened to him in the context of him already having had a parent die for him.
I know, and
okay?
forcing him to relive it so soon.
And we're kind of like beating him up a little bit. Like, how can you not just feel so terrible for this kid?
I mean, what's gonna happen to him afterwards?
Who knows? Am I missing something here? Is that why you weren't very shocked when you found out your father was dead? Were you in some weird way expecting it? Because you'd already sensed that he was a goner somehow? I mean,
maybe.
Talk about pessimism. Please, Sarge, what was it you saw on the night of your father's murder?
Ooh, ga 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 ga. I saw.
Why Why'd they install a system like this on the drone? It's full of reactive armor, can ooze oil from strange parts of its body.
And it apparently has an anti-personnel taser.
Tabor?
I said tamer, actually, but...
What the hell is happening? I don't like where this is going.
Yeah! No more, no more!
Please! Ah! Help!
I mean, was the kid just back there with the remote control going crazy with it? Hey!
I've confiscated your little toy. The battlefield has no place for unauthorized equipment. Take that!
Widget! Apollo, I can't continue the session without him.
Sarge, you can't say I don't like this and then take Widget.
Calm yourself this instant, witness. I hereby order you to submit to your therapy session.
I mean, was the kid like... That's really funny. Submit to your therapy session. But was the kid like, I'm so mad, and then he holds the joystick or whatever it is he used to control it and just starts wiggling it and pressing buttons? Or is he calmly like, ARG! He said as he's so mad, as he then presses the begin self-destruction protocol? Like, there's no way to react to that makes sense, but that's okay.
What in blazes?
He took the gavel!
All right then, I'm in control here. Look at me, I'm judge, jury, and executioner now.
You piece of crap!
I hereby convene a military tribunal. Everyone killed at the firing range.
Bailiffs, pull out your firearms! Open fire! Oh wait, don't hit the gallery though. Okay, this has gone way too far. It's almost not even funny actually it's pretty funny.
Bailiff, arrest that drone this instant.
Watch out, he's armed! Stop resisting! Oh God! Oh, I needed that! Oh, there's a hole now! If you don't come quietly,
Give Widget back, right?
Oh God, Athena! You'll never be able to see again!
Oh God!
And a pitched firefight ensued. At the end of the battle, the casualties were enormous. Half the gallery had perished.
Finally got him back. There's more where that came from, fella. Next time I won't go so easy on ya.
Nice work.
It was an epic battle, fought for like 2 minutes.
Your elbow drop really cinched it.
This witness is truly a handful.
Oh, up, 2, 3, 4.
It's too bad about those 3 bailiffs that he killed.
Miss Sykes?
Oh, Mr. Wright! You're here too?
What's the witness's current psychological state?
I'm sure glad you decided to join us again. Were you off taking cover somewhere where it wasn't dangerous? Why haven't you been participating in the discussion with the witness, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Justice, after the vacation I've had, I instinctively duck for cover when I hear gunfire.
I guess you have experienced that recently, yes?
Let's see. He's emotionally all over the map.
So his out-of-control emotions are in control of him, huh? Does that mean we can calm him down if we can figure out the root cause? Hit the right button and that'll make the drone stop exploding?
We have to figure out the detonation sequence and cut the right wire.
It's always the red one, unless it isn't.
And they're all painted red. Yes, so let's see what we can find. Sarge, can you hear me? Oh, is that you, Core Woman Sykes? I'm here. Now, I want you to take a few deep breaths. Just try to relax.
And also, it's really important that you answer the question of why are you operating the drone like that?
Try it with me. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
Is he gonna be like huff puff, huff puff?
In, out. In, out. And now, put down the controls and come into the courtroom.
That's the important part!
Let your emotions take you where they will. Go on, just let it all out!
Not bullets, though! Don't let the bullets out!
But that's how I express myself! All forces, attack!
I told you not to do that! That's the least relaxing breathing exercise I've ever seen. Also the most dangerous. Mentally unstable folks should not be wielding firearms in a courtroom on the stand.
Dots was still hanging around after he got kicked out when I heard more fighting.
And I got worried about Papa.
I also like how it's only sadness and surprise, too.
Yeah. So I left my room, but suddenly I got dizzy and passed out. I remember a flame lighting up the room,
Well, that's different.
and Papa grinning with delight.
What the heck?
I don't even know, man! That's when he must have been killed.
If only I hadn't passed out.
Right. You didn't actually see any of this because you passed out from the shock of crazy junk going on. And what the heck is up with this fire? Okay, so he has 2 out of control emotions, huh? And all we have to do is find out what's causing them to run wild like
The
this.
fire! The fire's what's causing him to run wild like that! He's got a traumatic experience because of fire!
And yes, whatever the cause, it should appear somewhere in the mood matrix.
So what you're telling me is the kid who lost his mother in a fire sees his father going mad with fire and passes out? Why would that happen? I don't get it.
Objection.
So what you're saying is that's why he wasn't as shocked when he saw the dead body of his father, because he associates fire with the death of a parent, especially when the fire is around the parent.
Yes.
Why did this happen? I'm so lost right now.
Such a mystery. Let me know if you think you found it.
I'll get right on it.
It is easier said than done, isn't it?
Don't suppose we can just listen to what Billy said when he broke down, and then Damon's specific breakdown.
Well,
2 different uses of breakdown.
Oh, nice. I would think about Sarge's personality and his past and what they've been talking about over us for the last 10 minutes. Those are the things that shape a person's emotion. You should be able to find something to work with from there.
Right, so we've got this one taken care of
I'm
then.
just gonna move to the fire. How's that sound?
That's it! Sarge, you were overcome with shock and fear when you saw those flames, weren't you?
Was I?
Yes. Just 6 months ago, you and your mother were caught up in an arsonist's blaze. So it's no wonder you would be extremely scared of fire. We bonded over that, remember?
Yes, that does make sense. And maybe, just maybe, your subconscious fear of fire was what caused you to withdraw from the world. What do you mean, poor woman Sykes? In the outside world, you were bound to come across all sorts of fire. Candles, cigarettes, heck, even the grill at a diner. Even if it's not that often, just the idea that you might see them grew bigger and bigger until you couldn't shut it out.
I mean, this is honest to goodness serious trauma. It is PTSD.
I think you might be on to something. Candles, cigarettes,
Just thinking about them sends a chill down my spine.
Wow, the things I take for granted. What? That was in bad taste.
Yeah, I was afraid. Afraid of the fire.
strange. I didn't even realize it myself.
That's why you've got to face your fears. I mean that just so you...
Just in general.
That's really important to me and to you. We're both people who have had to deal with a great deal of anxiety in the past. And it's not due to a lack of sensitivity or something, but the only way you can ever overcome it is just to face the damn thing. About that fire, Sarge. Can you tell me what it was burning?
Just stay calm and maybe something will come to you. Oh,
Oh! I'm starting to remember. It was... It was that relic!
that relic Papa was studying. It was on fire.
He was burning the Founder's Orb?
It may have been active.
The orb was on fire? You might be right about that.
Mm-hmm. It's still kind of fuzzy.
But yes, the orb was burning right in front of Papa. And there, in the flames was...
Mama?
Yeah, what it does is it's supposed to grant supernatural power, right? And the whole thing is about the Kurain channeling technique, right? So this is like, I'm not saying, like this, it's like it was summoning her spirit.
And that's why he was smiling.
Yeah.
Because he saw her in it too. Wow. Yes, now I remember. I saw Mama appear amidst the dancing flames.
We'd be surprised, but... Wait, what? I am surprised! I mean, that is surprising, but like... We know what it is.
Woo! That's not a good image!
So many people want this because it is a powerful, spiritual, supernatural artifact. Or it isn't, but apparently it is.
Or something.
But we know, in the world of Ace Attorney...
Yeah!
The stuff about the spirit channeling is
It's real!
So, it's not surprising to see this happen. What? I'm not the one who's been crying, and I, Apollo, have never had any experiences with... Anyway, unlike Phoenix, I don't have the context for this. What the heck?
Maybe it's a memory from the fire that killed his mother. He might be confusing it with what really happened when his father died.
I guess that is possible.
I suppose it is possible, but it could all... The other thing's also possible!
Probable? So let me guess. More therapy? Okay, so, like, Buff sees this happen. He sees, like, that it really does have spiritual power, unlike any of the other stuff he's ever done. And he's like, nobody needs to get a hold of this thing. That is messed up.
That could be it,
I am gonna drop it in this cave. In, like, the impossible to open box that you have to be an archaeologist with my specific specialty to be able to know what to do. We're gonna leave it there because I'm not handing over this orb to anybody.
It's too dangerous.
Nobody gets it, yeah.
Ah, very Indiana Jones.
And of course, he had to shoot the Nazis in the cave.
Why didn't we stumble across any?
Yep, but this time it seems there's an inconsistency in his statements.
Oh, thank goodness you're just moving it along to the next thing we need to attack.
And I think we should be able to prove it with the evidence at hand.
I hope this inconsistency's the key to proving that the relic really is the Founder's Orb.
Oh, Apollo, there is still undoubtedly so much of this trial left. You're gonna be sick of it.
Dots was still hanging around after he got kicked out when... Oh no, the episode ended!
Objection!
Overruled!
You're